Everyone, welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa. On behalf of Serenade, I want to welcome you today. Today's topic for our webinar is calendar appointments, deadlines, and reminders. So today we are recording as always, and you can watch the video in our YouTube channel. You can also download our PowerPoint presentation that we're going to be using today, and you can ask me questions throughout the webinar. Okay, so let's get started. So today we're going to talk about calendar appointments, how to set up deadlines and track those, of course, and create reminders. And we're going to show you from the client profile how to link the members and how to create cases. Those are the basic steps if you're new. In order for the data to transfer to forms, you have to create the profile, enter the information there, and link the members so that the information also for the children or the spouse, and those are the members that you want to link and make sure that their data also transfers. So we're going to show you that and how to create the case. After that, we're going to cover how to create the reminders, how to use the calendar, and we do integrate with your Office 365 calendar, Google, and Acuity if you use that service. Also, we're going to show you our feature for shipment tracking. So if you want to track your FedEx, UPS, USPS, shipments, you can use our supported tracking mechanism. We do have smart alerts that would help you. Maybe you have a client with an overdue invoice or any other alert that you want to show your staff. You can set that up as a global alert. And I'll cover how to manage your client's documents expiration dates, the user-defined documents that you can, the name says customized, and the tickler module, the dashboard. All right, so let's begin. I'm gonna switch to our, give me 1 second, our caseworker portal. Here is, as I said, here's the main window. We are going to create a contact profile. That would be the first step. Make sure that you also use the system as a CRM. You can track your potential clients, progress and add logs, reminders. We're gonna see how the tickler can help you, follow up and make sure that you don't lose that prospect and turn that into an active client. Once you have an account, make sure that you enter as much information as possible here into the system, because this is the information that eventually transfers to the forms. So this is your step one, creating the contact profile, entering as much data as possible. And step two is linking the members. I don't see the tickler, I only see the home. Let me see. Why is it not showing? Give me 1 second. My computer, my image froze. Okay, let me go back. Did you guys, maybe you were just stuck on the first page. Thank you for letting me know. It was frozen. Okay, let's see if now you guys can see it. I'm moving, we're supposed to see something. Yes, you're supposed to see my screen. It was stuck. I'm moving my mouse. Let me know if you can see it now. Okay, let me switch back. This is what I was showing. I was showing how to create a contact. Please confirm. Yes, we can. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. So yeah, you create a contact. I was saying that if you notice here, the status shows prospect. So you can use the system as a CRM to track, okay, how many prospects do I have? What's the status, the progress that we've made? And then of course, follow up with the reminders, use a calendar for the consultation so that that prospect turns into an active client. Let me open an account. This is an example. I was showing this. This is the profile where you want to enter as much information as possible. And if you notice, everything is organized on the right-hand side where you have all the different sections. So the more data you enter here, the better, because this is what transfers to the forms. And also the data that you capture here is the data you can utilize in the reports versus typing data directly on forms, which is not recommended. Okay. Step number 2 is when you link the family members. So you want to click on link member, and this is where you search the person's information if you already have them in the system. If not, most likely you want to create a new contact here at the bottom. You want to create a new contact for that family member, but don't generate a number because they're not technically your clients. So you want to enter the information, select the relationship. Maybe this is a daughter or this is a spouse, or you select the type of relationship and click link, and that's how you can organize your clients and the family members. Well, not only family members, if you're here and you handle employment-based cases, then we're talking about the business client having a profile like this one, and you want to link the employees and the signatories as well. All right, so let me go back to the profile and let me know if you guys have any questions. Step number 3, once you create the contact, once you link the members, step 3 is when you create the actual matter or case. So you want to click on create case, and you want to follow the steps for this case wizard tool. So you want to select your department, the type of matter. All of these drop-down menus can be customized. If you guys want to customize them, go into your admin portal and you can customize them. So I'm just selecting the different options. I can even track where's the actual physical document located, who's the attorney that, or the preparer who's going to transfer to the forms, what are the case parties, petitioner, beneficiary, alien, so you select the roles. I normally suggest choosing alien versus beneficiary just because the data transfers faster. So I'm going to click next. I don't have any conditional rules. This is also optional. And then you've got the forms checklist. And that's it. You click create, and that's how you create the case. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. In fact, let me see if those steps were clear to you. Okay, thank you so much for those who voted. I'm gonna close this and share. So thank you for letting me know those steps were clear. And there's a question pending. Is there a feature where we click on a recently accessed name so that way I don't have to manually re-enter the client's name? Yeah, actually, great question. When you go into your home screen, you have recently updated cases and recently updated clients. So, I mean, if you want to show them all, then you click here to see all of them. But also, when you go on the left-hand side and you click on this icon and search for clients, notice that the column that it's selected, that it's sorting, the most recently updated ones. So that's how you can also save time by not even typing the name. It's literally, sorted by the most updated ones. So thank you for asking that question. All right, so let's continue with our presentation. I'm going to show you now how to create the reminders and utilize the calendar and its integration. So thank you so much for your patience. I didn't know that. Well, I'm glad you're here. You made my day. That's the reason why I like this, because even if it's just one person that learned something new, we did the right thing. Okay, so the client profile on the right-hand side has the option for reminders. Let me click on reminders again. And on the left, you should see add reminder. Okay. The option here where it says category, it's customizable. If you haven't done it yet, I suggest that you go into your administrator portal, locate the section for types of reminders, both client and case types, and then customize the type of reminders. In my opinion, it's pointless if I get a reminder that says you have a deadline or you have a task. Well, tell me what's the task so I can prioritize. So my recommendation is that you customize the type of, reminder or the category so that when you create that reminder, you specify you have an appointment, you have an RFE, you have a call to follow up with a client. You can create them also in Spanish. So again, we recommend that you customize these categories. The type of appointment is going to be a fingerprint appointment, the biometrics, and then also when is the appointment. Let's say the client has it on the 14th, but I want to send them a reminder via text message and email, maybe a few days before. So I'm going to send that on the 11th at 7 a.m. Who's responsible for that? Who's the caseworker or the paralegal? So I'm just going to select the person who's responsible, which is me. And then I'm going to copy the other recipients, the client, of course, and maybe the husband, or, I can send them a text message and I can also email them. So I'm just going to pick my email so I get the reminder myself, my client, and again, her husband. So now, what's a message template? The message template saves you so much time so that you guys don't have to type the message all over again every single time. So what I suggest you do is you go into your admin and then you click on letter templates and customize that reminder. In fact, I probably have one already, so let me search for it. I think it's maybe by or appointment reminder or something like that. Okay, this one follow up. Well, this is after, but let me use this appointment reminder test. Since instead of the name, you want to use tags so that it populates the information, and then instead of you typing it, the system can auto-populate the name of the person. You can even utilize the custom field so that you can enter the appointment's location so that it populates. This is a better example. Appointment reminder with the letterhead and the logo. I'm going to use that one for my actual reminder. So let me search for it and it should be right here. There we go. See how it populated her name and today's date. But yeah, I don't have to type that information even with my name. So I'm gonna save that and the system will send her the reminder on the 11th of this month. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. So I'm going to now show you how the calendar works. So we're gonna click here on the left, calendar. Now this is the calendar that you can also share with your staff. Make sure that all of you share with each other so that this becomes a general calendar. You wanna add a caseworker and make sure that they have access, if not full access, so that they can see your appointments, right? Now, when you add an appointment in eIMMIGRATION calendar, if they have shared with you, then you can see their calendar and you can book an appointment on their behalf. So that's how you can pick whose calendar this is. Or this could be my acuity calendar. You could also add an appointment here and it will show up in your Google Calendar or your Office 365, sorry, your Outlook, vice versa as well. So any appointments that you create in your Outlook or Google Calendar, if you are connecting them, because you have to sign in, if you have connected and integrated, then yes, you can see them all in one place. See here, I would show my Google Calendar. I can also uncheck the ones that I don't want to see, maybe just those few. And then also the reminders that you have created can appear here and you can customize the colors to identify if this is a case reminder or a client reminder. The one that I created earlier for that biometrics appointment So if I double click on it, let me go. Oh my God, it looks like we're busy on, oh, this is January. Okay, let me go to search by month. Okay, now we're talking. So notice that if I move my mouse, I see the client reminder we created, but if I double click on it, it takes me to that actual reminder. Let me close the alert. Okay, so these are all the reminders that I have for Valeria at the client profile. And here they are. All right, so if you want to save time, you could also go to the appointment section and create the appointment from here. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. We want to know how many of you are new users, or this is just a refresher course for you. Thank you so much for voting. So I'm going to close this to share the results. So the majority of you are actually existing users, and I'm glad you're here so that you can ask questions and you can really maximize the investment. All right, so let's continue with our presentation. So the next thing I'm going to show you right now is the shipment tracking mechanism. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Now, remember I said that you want to create a case so that you can access the forms. Some of the features are only available at the case profile. One of them is that shipments option. Okay, so if you send a package and you want to track it, you go to the case profile, click on shipments, and then add the shipment here. So let's say I sent that through FedEx and the tracking number is this, and maybe I sent the package to USCIS on the 17th of this month, and I want to save my entry. Now, if I click on that link, it's going to take me to this pop-up window where I see the tracking information. Obviously, this is not a real tracking number. But if I want to see more details, I click on that other link and it takes me to the actual website. So I don't have to enter the tracking number. It's going to show you the details. Okay, let me close that. Again, just go to the case profile, click on shipments, and then you guys can add as many shipments as needed. So let me just add one more for UPS. Let's say I sent this 2 days ago to client. And now again, if I click on that link, I would see that information from USPS. But again, if you click on the link, now it's taking me to the corresponding website. Okay. All right. I forgot to mention this, but you could copy the information if it says package was delivered or whatever, status you want to keep in the system, you can copy that to the logs. Okay, let me continue. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point, okay? Let me see. I'm gonna launch a poll just to make sure, because you guys are too quiet. Okay, let me see how are we doing. You may continue. It's the majority of the responses. So thank you so much for participating, and let's continue with the presentation. All right, so now we're gonna learn how to utilize the smart alerts. Make sure that you guys customize your global alerts. If you go into the admin portal, you'll see them right here, global client alert or global case alert. even though you could create an individual alert. Let me show you how. Let's say that I want to alert someone about this client. I already have one here. See how it says client will bring check tomorrow? That's an individual alert that my staff is able to edit, and they can modify, or they can even delete that alert. Those are the individual alerts that your staff can create manually here on a case-by-case basis. So if I see a red bell on the left that's shaking, I see that we have a global alert. See, this one I cannot delete. It's telling me that she has overdue invoices. As a paralegal or an attorney, I can add an alert. I can say success, client brought the check, blah, blah, blah. Like I can add an alert manually. In fact, let me just type it. Client came to pay today, and I'll just put today's date and save it. So next time someone, maybe in a different department, different location, they open this account, they don't call the client because they see that alert. Okay, I mean, again, just to give you an idea, but let me show you how to create the global alerts so that automatically shows if you have overdue invoices or if there's like a conflict of interest. So let's go over the admin portal, and I'm going to click on global client alert. I usually recommend creating the alert at the client level, because what if it's, I don't know, maybe the receptionist who's not involved with the actual case, but she's there to add an appointment or anything related to the client, not the case. So it's better for her to see the alert. Okay, let me add the alert here and choose the type. So this cannot be customized. I'm gonna pick maybe a warning. See here, I could do a basic alert. It's just a message that I'm going to be typing here, and the client, I'm sorry, the staff will see it. Or if we do an advanced alert, that's when the system can check these two sections. The client members, if there are any adverse parties, if we have any of these, hey, it looks like this client has an employer, or this client has, again, it's usually for like an adverse party so that you guys double check, for conflict of interest. Or the other option is invoices. Let me know if the client has any invoices that are overdue. So that would be the option to create a global, advanced warning alert. So now that I have that, if I refresh my screen, this is the alert. So the system will show me, okay, this is a client with overdue invoices. But again, you guys can add any of these alerts too. All right, let's continue with the next item, which is managing documents expiration dates. How do we enter the expiration dates? Well, if you go to the contact profile on the right-hand side, click on documents, and then you'll see on the left passports, I-94s, visas. If I have the client's passport information, I want to add, and if this is a current passport, because I want the data to transfer to the forms, make sure that you mark this as current. Okay, because she can have more than one passport, but this is the one that I want to transfer to forms. And also, when running reports, you want to keep track of this one. This is the one that we want to see, okay, it expires maybe next year. It was issued, I don't know, I'm just gonna put 2020, and this is a country, I don't know, Argentina, I guess. And the passport number, I could also, of course, upload the actual image of the passport. And actually, let me do that. Let me find an image so that you guys can see how it works. Okay, I added a passport here, but it's not Argentinian. It's just an image of a passport, but it's from Mexico. Okay, so let me save and close. Okay, now we have that. And if I click on this view, then I can see the image of the passport. And here it is. And if I need to run a report, I can pull a report to know how many passports expired soon. Let me see, I do have a question. It says, forgive the delay in the question. Is the only way to see that there is a smart alert, the red shaking bell? I have not used this feature before, so I am trying to think what would be, what generally be put there. Okay, well, yes, it is the only way. Technically, let me go back. When someone opens an account, let me access any of these. If there is an alert, it will show up. Like this one, client will come back with check this afternoon. I recommend, by the way, that you guys add the dates because it doesn't keep track of when this was created. Um, it only shows you, again, when you open the account, or let me switch to a different window and go back to the general information. Yeah, it's not showing again unless I refresh my screen. I get the actual pop-up window, the alert. If you don't see that, then yes, the only way is to see that, excuse me. The only way is to see this image right here, the dancing red bell. I was thinking you can also create a report. I mean, the custom reports allow you to create any type of report. Let me double check. If I go, I don't know if you have custom reports, but you could also try this so that you don't wait to see that on a individual basis. Let me see if the criteria would show client alert, maybe under the individual client. Um, I'm looking at the custom documents. These, by the way, we're going to talk about right now how you can customize and track, like, hey, how many fingerprint appointments do I have? Or, you know what? I would have to get back to you on this because I don't see the option to track. I only see we have, no, I mean, I'm actually glad that I am showing you this because, and not just for the alerts, but hey, how many reminders, how many appointments do we have, expiration date, so you can use the reports and even schedule them so that when you create a report, hey, maybe I want to see, let me see my appointments, or like court, okay, like this one. Show me my court dates, appointments, send me an Excel or a PDF on a daily basis. Send them starting next Monday until the year 2035. Um, Send that to me and my assistant. Even if my assistant is not using a license on eIMMIGRATION, I want her to know what my court hearing appointments are so that she can remind me by going up this PDF. So again, my recommendation, if you guys don't have custom reports, is that you utilize this to schedule them and send that to your staff. Hey, follow up about these documents that are about to expire, or again, the appointments that we have for the next month or so. So let's go back to the, let me see if you guys have any other questions. But yeah, that's the only way to see, I guess, on an individual basis. And my recommendation also is utilize the tickler in general. I mean, that is showing those overdue invoices for that specific client. But you could also use the tickler, if you think about it, because it shows your accounts receivable aging 30, 60, 90 report in general, not just that client. Well, she, because she has so many invoices, she's the only one that I use for demos. And let me show the data for all my case workers. There we go. So now I see we've got 966 overdue invoices, and I see everything in one place. Again, it's up to you if you want to utilize the tickler or the custom reports, but this will be also another alternative. Okay, so let me continue. The other alert was at the case level. It's basically the same thing. You want to add an alert, select the type, and then the type of if it's basic or advanced. Okay. And remember, you have to have access to the administrator portal if you want to create those global alerts. Otherwise, anyone can create an alert at the client or the case level. All right, so next, let's learn how to manage those documents. We were talking about the passport, and I was showing you that you can customize those other documents like an EAD, RFEs, right? So if you want to customize those, go into the administrator portal, and you should see the custom document types. This is where you can customize them. I mean, these are just examples. I want to track the RFE, or I want to track all the 797s. So you want to add the type of document here. And then that way you can track the expiration date, issuance date, any motions, DUI. So like you have an option to modify that drop-down menu. Let me show you what the drop-down menu looks like. Again, I'm taking you back to the caseworker portal. This is the client's profile, and I'm going to click on the right-hand side where it says documents. Here on the left, go to user defined, and that drop-down menu that I was showing you is here. That same exact, drop-down menu is here. Driver's license, income tax, anything that you guys want to track. Again, I'll say we've got a 797 was issued maybe 2021, approved 2022, and expires 2027. All right, so it's current, sponsor, description, any information that you want to add, and then of course the actual document that you want to upload. When you guys enter the expiration dates for these documents, notice that here we have a submenu. So if I want to see all my EADs, I want to see my RFEs, everything is in one place and organized really quick. Okay, now I want to look at those in one place, not just for this same client. Again, remember, go to your tools, click on tickler, and then you'll see this tickler can be customized. If you want to change the layout, if you want to change the time frame, you can do so. If you scroll down, this is where you see all the passports expiration dates, I-94s, and again, the user-defined documents are here. So it looks like we've got 57. I can sort by type of document or expiration dates. Here's I think that's the one I created. Well, no, this is only showing the overdue ones. So you can customize. Mine go all the way up to 90 days. Let me show you how to customize the tickler and the time frames. So you're going to click on the top right. If you click on user preferences, go to tickler, and this is where you change the settings and the layout. So maybe my user defined documents, I want to change those to not 6190, but I don't know, 200 days. All right, so let's just save. And that's the overdue. Yeah, because we can also do like this, reminders. I want to see if I have any past due reminders the last 10 days or the next 15 days. It says right here from today plus -10 or 15. Again, you can change these. You can also modify the layout. Maybe you don't care for like accounts payable. So, I mean, receivable. So you can change that. You can add or remove sections from your tickler. Okay. Let's go back to, let me save all. Let's go back to my tickler and choose the user layout. See, I can change a different view. This is a default one. And don't forget that if you click on the box on the top left, that's how you show the data for all your caseworkers. Okay. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. All right. I was looking and there's no questions at this point. So let me continue with the next item. So let me go back to the, okay, we've talked about managing documents expiration date, but let me go back to the case itself. The case profile has a section for process steps. These process steps are your timeline or workflow. This is not going to work if you guys don't click modify and add the start date. That's very important. Your timeline doesn't work if the system doesn't have a start date. Even if it's just one, like I'm starting next Monday, I've got 1 day to complete this task. So my target date or my deadline is on the 4th. I want to delegate. I'll pick the paralegal or I choose my name. So depending on who's the caseworker, then if this is checked where it says auto email, the system can send you a reminder. If you don't have a name, everyone gets the reminder. Okay, so it's important that you start adding your start dates. Right here, I'm just gonna add a few. And based on my selection here, the number of days or time frame, the system auto-populates my target dates or deadlines. Obviously, when we are done with the task or step, then you wanna complete it and it's done. All right, thank you for your patience. I'm back. All right, so I was saying that the task or step, once it's done, you can either enter the date when you finish this, or you can simply mark the box. If you mark the box or check the box, it will populate today's date. Today's date, sorry. If you have something overdue, it will show in red, and that person again should have received an email like I'm supposed to do this on the 16th. Well, I received an email about this task because I'm the one responsible here. Okay. If you check the box, then of course it's not red anymore. And then notice that once you check the box, it adds the next one and so forth. So that way, again, you could also delegate and your staff can utilize the tickler to know, hey, how many tasks do we have today on the, or the next, 15 days or then, the next week. So those are the process steps. I also like the fact that as you guys add these end dates, there's a progress bar here. It says 5%. I could share this with my client. So if she wants to know, hey, what's the status, what's pending or what's coming soon, whatever, you can share the entirety of the process steps. Just make sure that it's not just a few, it will be the whole list. So let me quickly show you what happens when, as a client, they log in and you give them access to that progress bar. Remember, the clients have a client portal. If you want to give them access, this is what they see. Obviously, only when you share, right, the access. So when she clicks on that progress bar where it says status, she can see the steps that have been completed or the ones that started and or the ones that haven't started yet. Okay, so this is what the clients see. If you don't want to share even the status bar so that it doesn't show unknown, you could also change your settings via the admin portal so that you don't show that. Okay, let me see if you guys have any questions at this point. Do you guys think you're utilizing the system to its full potential? Let me know. All right, thank you for voting. Let me close this because we've got 70% of the votes. Let's see. So 75% no. I seriously doubt it. That's why I'm here. Well, thank you for taking advantage of the session. So we're going to open a Q&A so that you can ask any questions, not just related to calendars or reminders, and you can take advantage of the session. Now, before we do the Q&A, I do want to show you what are the resources that you've got for support, okay? You can call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. That's our phone number. So if you want to write it down, or even better, download this PowerPoint presentation. You can email us 24/7. That's our email address for support or any other issues. You could click on your home screen where it says technical support and send your feedback to developers as well. We have a user's guide where you can search for specific keywords and watch the tutorial videos that we have or follow the instructions step by step with screenshots. We do these webinars for free on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You just have to register like you did for today. Um, we have a podcast and a Facebook forum page so that you can request to join. And lastly, we have a YouTube channel. Well, it's now called eIMMIGRATION Academy. So please feel free to subscribe. Now I'm going to open the Q&A so you can ask me questions. But for those who have to go and they have to disconnect, there's going to be a survey. And also don't forget to download the PowerPoint presentation. We hope that you learned something new today and that you can connect with us so that we can assist you furthermore. Thank you and have a good weekend. Now, for those who have questions, I'm going to read them out loud. And one of them was, hello, I'm a new user and I was wondering if training dates will be sent out for February. We are working on new topics actually because we are going to create a new, how do I say this? It's going to be a new way of presenting the webinars. It's it's going to be less content and more time for you to ask questions. So the feedback that we received last year was that these webinars were probably uh, like a lot of information in 1 hour. And so we're going to launch not just February, but also March calendar. If it's not this afternoon, by Monday, you'll have it ready. I'll send you an email once the link is ready. Is there a way to send a message while inside a case, or do you have to be on the messages tab from the left-hand side? Let me go back to my caseworker portal. Here we go. So I'm in the case. I see what you mean. Like on the left-hand side where it says messages, you have to access the inbox here. You could also go here on the right-hand side. It's the same thing. If you want to search for a message, or on the top right corner too, I want to click on messages, and I don't know, whatever you prefer. But what I also recommend is opening multiple tabs. I don't know if that works for you. So I can be working on this case, and instead of me closing the case, what I can do is right click and open in a new tab so I can see my messages on this tab and I don't lose my case profile because I'm looking at the forms or whatever I'm doing. I can switch to the other tab and draft the message. Speaking of messages, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to the document section under the letters template, you could use these letters or yeah, the documents to email from here. So it's not just messaging, which is definitely safer and more protected. It's encrypted. But if you want to send an email, you could also utilize the letter templates from here. Okay, thank you for your question. But the messages tab inside the case is only for viewing, not sending them. Yes? Yeah. So the one that I was showing you when I clicked on messages from here, it's only if I search for specific messages from her. The one that I was saying is open another tab by right clicking here and I can see everyone. Well, obviously I can sort by subject or recipient, but also here on the right hand side, you can draft the message. So that's maybe the best approach If you want to look at as I said, maybe I'm looking at the form or an invoice or whatever, and I can draft the message on the other tab. That's how it works. You're welcome. Hello, is there a way we can edit the questionnaires or intakes once we save them? Good question. Okay, let me explain. If I customize an intake and I send them to a client, let's say, let me use an example here. Let's say I did this upgrade training questionnaire or personal injury intake. Because I have a pending questionnaire that I need to approve or delete or reject, the system doesn't allow me to modify the actual intake. I don't know if you saw that when you go into your admin, click on your custom form templates. When you go to your intake forms, the ones that you've customized, let me use that same example that I was personal injury intake. Okay, it's right here. See, if I click edit, I'm gonna get a warning. Oh, you know what? Not this one, it doesn't have the signature. So you could modify it only if you don't have an electronic signature. If you have an electronic signature on that template, it won't let you customize it until you approve or make a decision on these pending questionnaires. But once they send, and I'm talking about the actual intake. If you are asking the question for the entries, meaning, okay, Herbert sent his general information questionnaire back to Kevin, and you are talking about this, like his entries, you have to accept first and then go to his profile to modify it. So please message me again and let me know what you meant by editing the questionnaires. I find myself having to constantly refresh the page whenever I review or send messages. I'm reading a question, by the way. If I don't, the system will not let me send or read the message. Is this just a glitch in the system or is there a way to fix it? You have to refresh the page and whenever you review or send. You know what? I'm not sure. I haven't encountered that because I'm not sending actual messages. I'm just demoing. So I would have to test and try to duplicate. Um, what I do recommend, if this is a glitch, you have to contact us so that we can connect to your screen and find the cause of the bug. Let me, yeah, because I would have to duplicate and see if I don't see the messages and if I have to refresh the page all the time, then I'll let them know as well. If that's the behavior, then I'll give them the feedback from you. How about if we are the actual intake? Sorry, I'm reading the question. It says, what about if we are in the actual intake for a client who's in the office and I made a mistake and I want to go back and, oh yeah. So this is what she's talking about. When you guys access an account, let's say Valeria is in the office and I am capturing the data myself, you guys can utilize the alternate view, open from the alternate view. I'm going to pick the same questionnaire, let's say general information for individual client. When you open the alternate view, you can see the data on this questionnaire look and feel. So let's say she made a mistake. She said March, but it was August. So I can change the information manually here, save it, and it will update the database, the profile. I don't know why I got this because I did save. Let me close. All right, here it is. So I saved the date of birth from the alternate view to access a questionnaire because she's in front of me or on the phone, and that's how you can fix it. Another thing is, once you accept a questionnaire and you notice that something's wrong, you can manually change it here. See, I'm gonna change the date of birth one more time and save it. So that's how you can overwrite. I like to use the alternate view just because every time that you guys modify something through the alternate view, there's a record. So you can see, okay, looks like we updated the general information questionnaire. So maybe you can try using that. How about if we, yeah, I saw that question already. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, well, I don't see any other questions coming through. Let me see. Anyone else, please message me before we disconnect. And as I said to everyone, don't forget to download my PowerPoint presentation so that you can click on the links and learn more about the features that we discussed today. Let me see. There's another question that says, is there a way to see or locate related persons to a case within a client's profile? Yeah. So the way you do that is by going into the client's profile under cases. You should see all the cases and then you should see case parties. So client profile, click cases. It shows you the case type, the status, the date, and then the parties. If you're talking about related members, that's different. Then just go to members. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so if you want to link related people to that client's case, what you can do, as I said, is go to the contact profile, click on cases. If I see that I'm missing, I don't know, the child derivative, I can even use this shortcut where it says select load more data and go straight to my case parties for that specific case and link him. I don't know what the name of the kit would be. Let's call it Peter. So John Peter is the derivative. I link or beneficiary, and that's it. So you can do that. Let me do it one more time really quick. I went to the client's account, contact profile. I went to the cases tab, and I use the shortcut, select load more data. And then I went to the case parties so I could link or unlink whatever you need to do. All right. Okay, well, I think that's it for today. I hope that you learned something new. You're welcome. My pleasure. Well, thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. As I said, please contact us. Make sure that you reach out for support. We appreciate your time and have a great weekend, everyone.